I have this big decision to make, and I don't know what to do. What's your gut feeling about it? I have an idea of what the right choice is, but I just know if it goes wrong, it's gonna feel like a punch to the gut, and I get all these butterflies in my stomach when I think about it. Just go with your gut instinct. Have you ever wondered why we have so many sayings that relate cognitive functions like decision-making and emotional processes to our digestive system? If you're a nerd for neuroscience like myself, you've certainly heard about recent research regarding the gut-brain connection, so let's talk about it. After all, it is this essential feedback loop that may be behind our common referencing of gut feelings. Our brain communicates with all parts of our body using nerves made up of neurons. Can you guess where the most neurons are located outside of the brain and spinal cord? That's right, the gut. More than 100 million of them. Most importantly, the vagus nerve runs straight from the brain to the gut, carrying motor impulses for our digestive organs to function using efferent neurons and relaying back sensory information about the condition of the gut using afferent neurons. This relaying of information via nerves occurs through synaptic transmission, where chemicals called neurotransmitters travel from the axon terminal of one neuron, called the presynaptic neuron, to the dendrite of another neuron, called the postsynaptic neuron. The space between the neurons is called a synaptic cleft. When the presynaptic neuron is excited by an electrical impulse called an action potential, neurotransmitters are released into the synaptic cleft and react with receptors on the dendrite of the postsynaptic neuron. If the dendritic input is sufficient, an action potential travels through the neuron, causing the process to repeat. So, this is how neurotransmitters can travel through a nerve, neuron to neuron, carrying information either from the brain to the body, in the case of motor impulses, or from the body to the brain, in case of sensory impulses. The other crucial puzzle piece to understanding the gut-brain connection is the trillions of microorganisms living in each of our guts that happen to produce many of the same neurotransmitters also produced in the brain. For example, 50% of our total production of dopamine, one of our so-called happy hormones, actually occurs in the gastrointestinal tract, carried out by a variety of bacterial species. Because the vagus nerve carries the neurotransmitters produced in the gut up to the brain, it logically follows that if we have an unhealthy balance of bacteria in our gut, our dopamine levels fall short and we can become depressed as a result. Dopamine is not only linked to our happiness, however, but also to our executive functioning, which ties into decision-making, so this aspect of cognition is also negatively affected by a lack of dopamine. Another neurotransmitter that affects facets of decision-making and is produced in the gut, specifically by lactobacilli, is acetylcholine, which is linked to memory, learning, and attention. Additionally produced by lactobacilli is GABA, and low levels of this inhibitory neurotransmitter are linked to an increase in feelings of anxiety. Because of the huge role that our gut microbiome plays in the production of neurotransmitters, directly affecting brain health through the functioning of the vagus nerve, it is really important to eat foods that promote the growth of healthy bacteria to increase mental well-being and decision-making abilities. So, in order to have a good gut instinct to follow, be sure to take good care of the microbial friends living within your gut.